Hi everyone, Happy New Year! I'm David Wojcik and this is MBOT TV. Stories we covered this week: the Mississauga Board of Trade welcomes a new chair of the board, the leader of the federal opposition addresses MBOT members, and our weekly political update with Brad Butt, who has news on a reduction in corporate income tax, the city staff report on the hotel tax, and NAFTA. Welcome to MBOT TV, a weekly recap of what happened in business at the Mississauga Board of Trade and around the city of Mississauga. The Mississauga Board of Trade held its annual general meeting at the International Center in December. Outgoing Chair Vivi White from Royal Bank reflected on her year as chair and welcomed new Chair Paul Gaspar from UPS.
We face growing competition from other associations, and all of us face greater demands on our time than ever before. Moreover, we must continue to show the value community-based organizations provide to young people, while listening and responding to their values and wants. Quite simply, we must find new and better ways of connecting with the tens of thousands of businesses in our community.
Now you pepper in the support from our past chairs and directors, and the work from our ambassadors, our volunteers, our sponsors, community partners, and of course, you, our valued members. And we have a recipe for ongoing success. With your ongoing support to MBOT and our business community, we will work on policy at all levels of government, provide development and training opportunities, and continue to put on the best Mississauga networking events envied by others.
The federal leader of the opposition, Andrew Scheer, was in Mississauga last week and addressed a sold-out capacity crowd. Mr. Scheer addressed a major concern for business in Canada under the current government. Andrew, thanks for coming and visiting with the Board of Trade today. We talked about a lot of things. What do you feel is the most important issue facing business today that a government that you would form should take care of?
Well, I think what the government has to understand, and something that the Liberals just completely don't understand or ignore, is that Canada has to be competitive. A lot of time business owners use words like competitive. We need to have a competitive investment climate. And I think we need to get that message out there a little bit more in a more relatable way to Canadians, because sometimes that might sound too much like accounting terms, but what it really means is if someone wants to open up a factory in Ontario, if they want to expand a plant, that creates jobs for people who don't have the ability to open up a business themselves, sometimes who may not have skills or experiences yet. That doesn't happen if Canada is chasing away employment with higher taxes, higher regulations. So when we say we need Canada to be competitive, what we really mean is we want people to choose Canada, to choose to open up a store, a factory, start providing a service based out of Canada. And jobs come with that, and a better quality of life comes for all Canadians when that happens. So kind of connecting all those dots all the way through, how to make something that benefits a business that's here at the Mississauga Board of Trade, connecting the dots to how that benefits someone who lives and works and plays in Mississauga, wants to raise their family here. We have to do a better job of doing that.
And now for our political update with the Director of Government Relations, Brad Butt. Brad?
Well, thanks, David. Happy New Year to all of our MBOT TV viewers. 2018 will bring us two elections, the provincial election on June the 7th and municipal on October 22nd. So we've got lots in store this year. The new year did bring a little good news to the business community. The federal government has lowered the small business tax rate to 10 from 10.5%, and the provincial government has reduced its small business tax rate to 3.5% from 4.5%. And the federal government has promised to further reduce its rate to 9% in 2019. However, January 1st ushered in Bill 148, and its litany of new regulations under the Employment Standards and Labor Relations Acts, as well as the largest single increase in the minimum wage in Ontario's history. We're already starting to see the signs from businesses in a variety of sectors, who are finding cost savings and making adjustments to deal with this 23% increase in wages overnight. To better understand the impact of Bill 148 on your business, please join us on February 8th with a panel of experts as they provide you their best advice on this sweeping piece of legislation. Well, this Wednesday, Mississauga City Council will receive a staff report on the implementation of the Municipal Accommodation Tax, or hotel tax as it's better known, recommending a 4% rate on overnight stays and an April 1st effective date. MBOT has been actively working with our members in this sector to be the voice for ensuring this new revenue is reinvested in tourism and support for the motel-hotel sector. David will be appearing before Council on Wednesday to make these important points. The MBOT Policy and Government Affairs Committee received a presentation from Urban Metrics last Friday on the Region of Peel's review of the Retail Business Holidays Act and determining on what days stores and other businesses can be open. This consultation will include MBOT members through a survey of your views before a final report goes before Council in May. York Region recently voted to allow businesses to open on all days except Christmas Day starting in 2018. The Federal Minister of Employment, Workforce Development and Labor has announced consultations on labor standards for businesses that are federally regulated. Early signals show the government intends to make similar changes to legislation as was the case with Bill 148 in Ontario. The consultations are focused on hours of work and wages, annual vacations, holidays and leaves, termination of employment, severance pay, and more generally, other working conditions. Well, the sixth round of the NAFTA negotiations are scheduled for January 23rd to 28th in Montreal, at a time when the speculation is rampant that President Trump will invoke the 6-month notification clause to abrogate the treaty. Andrew Scheer, the federal Conservative Party leader, said at the MBOT lunch with him last Friday that he and some of his MPs are off to Washington this week to support Canada's efforts on renegotiating and modernizing the NAFTA agreement. The House of Commons and Senate are on break now until Monday, January 29th, when the legislative agenda of the federal government is expected to be significant. This will also include a federal budget and a better idea of exactly what the proposed tax changes to businesses will actually be. And the provincial legislature does not return until mid-February, with a shortened time frame of sitting, as the legislature will be dissolved by the end of April for the June 7th election. Back to you, David.
Thanks, Brad. And here's what's coming up at your Mississauga Board of Trade. On January 18th, the next generation of bad boy comes to MBOT. Blaine Lastman, the second generation bad boy, tells the story of rejuvenating the family business and electrifying the decades-old brand. On January 25th, Good Evening Mississauga is hosted by Milestones Heartland. This after-hours social provides tasty snacks and a casual atmosphere to build great relationships. On February 6th, we honor our 2017 chair, V.V. White from RBC. This Who's Who event is a must-attend for business leaders in Mississauga. On February 7th, Membership Matters is at MBOT, a session for new members to discover all the great benefits that your Mississauga Board of Trade has to offer. Seasoned members are always welcome to stop by for a refresher. On February 8th, a critical seminar on Bill 148. How much will it cost your business? A panel of experts break down Bill 148 and answer your questions about this sweeping legislation. On February 14th, Good Morning Mississauga celebrates Hazel McCallion Day at Sheridan College. Come out and wish former Mayor Hazel McCallion a happy birthday on her special day. Details about these stories and events are available at www.mbot.com. Until next week, this is David Wojcik wishing you a continued success in your business.